Hello guys, welcome to today's class and thank you for registering for the cookie class. So today I'll be showing you how to make um, one cookie dough. So the cookie dough, you can use it to form coconut cookies, you can use it to form sprinkle that form fatty cookies, white chocolate chips cookies, whatever you want to add to it, almond cookies, fruit, whatever. Just you can mix it with any additives and you get that kind of cookies. But this cookie dough I'm going to show you, you can use it to form any kind of cookies. Okay, that's any flavor. You can put Oreo cookies in it to form, just to spice it up. So yes. So but before then, I'm going to be showing you how to make which is a free class. I'm going to be showing you how to make brown sugar. Yes, because if you're doing cookies or you're doing brownies, if you enroll for either of my cookie or brownie class, you'll be using brown sugar a lot. So most times I make my brown sugar at home instead of buying. It's cost effective for me. So for brown sugar, all you need is your granulated regular sugar, white sugar, and your black charcoal. That's all. Granulated, white sugar and black charcoal. That's all you need to make your brown sugar. All right. So depending on how you want it, if you want your brown sugar to be light or you want your brown sugar to be dark brown, so that will determine the amount of black charcoal you add to the white sugar. Okay, so 1 cup of white sugar equals to 1 tablespoon of black charcoal. That's the measurement. 1 cup of brown sugar to 1 tablespoon of black charcoal. So that's how you do. So if you want 10 cups of brown sugar, you do 10 cups of white sugar and 10 tablespoons of black charcoal. I hope I'm clear. Yes, so I'm just going to be doing about, let's see what this can yield. This is 2 cups. This is 3 cups. So let's just do 5 cups of brown sugar. Yeah, so yeah, 5 cups. So these 5 cups. So before my tablespoon, I always like to cream it with oil, just any oil you have at home. Obviously the oil is too big, so it has to be good oil. And why I do that is so that when I measure my black charcoal, it comes out completely from the tablespoon. Okay, because if you don't put oil on it, when you put it, it will stick on it. So I just want everything to come out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a hole in the middle of my white sugar. Just like make a space, spread it out. Okay, so that it doesn't stick on your hand when you start mixing. So now we have 5 cups of brown sugar. We need to add 5 tablespoons of black charcoal. So that's 1. This is 2. You can see what I'm saying. Everything is coming out, But if you don't oil it, you'll find out that it's sticking to the spoon. So that's 2. So this is 3. This is 4. And this is 5. Like I said, if you want it really dark, you can either increase it or reduce the black charcoal you add to it, depending on what you want. Okay, so now when I mix this, you'll see the color, how it will look. All right, so you can see that the spoon is still clean, but if you don't oil it, it will still have black charcoal in it. So now what we'll do is that we'll mix this together, we combine it together, and that's it. Your brown sugar is ready. Can you see that it's forming already? Can you see it? So simple like that, as ABC. Peasy, easy peasy. So it's not something so, so serious like that. So that's it. Brown sugar ready instead of buying. So this is what I just do. I just make it myself, and it saves me. It's cost effective. Instead of buying a pack of brown sugar, there are sometimes I don't even see brown sugar to buy. Like it will be scarce for a period of time because choice. So everything I'll just be looking for. That was what prompted me to learn how to make it myself at home, and it's been working. So like I said, if you want it darker than this, you can add more black charcoal. If you want it lighter, you can reduce the black charcoal depending on what the recipe requests for. That's what you'll be using the brown sugar to make. Okay, so that's it, guys. Brown sugar is ready. So I'm just going to scoop this here because I'll be using this bowl to mix the cookie. So yes, ready, fully ready. You can even be selling it if you want to. You can make and be packaging it and be selling. There's nothing so serious with all these things. So there you have it, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to rinse my hand, come back, I will start the cookie class immediately. So yes, welcome back, guys. I just went to rinse my hand. So yes, we're going to dive into the cookie class immediately, and I said I'm going to show you how to make one cookie dough. It's called one cookie dough. You can use it to, you know, mix any toppings of your choice. Okay, so for this one cookie dough, first thing we need margarine. You can use butter if you want. Margarine, 200 grams of margarine, 2.5 cups of flour, sugar, half cup of sugar, half cup of brown sugar, baking powder, salt as usual, one egg, one medium-sized egg, then any mixture of your choice. Okay, cookie is very straightforward. The secret about making good cookie depends on what the client wants. Do they want it chewy or do they want it crunchy? If you want it chewy, you know, I'll show you how when I'm mixing, I'll let you know how to make it either chewy or crunchy. Okay, so the first thing for us to do when making cookie is we're going to melt this butter or this margarine. We're going to melt it. So I always like to melt my own in the microwave. You can use you can put it on the fire. You can put it in a non-stick pan and melt it on the fire. But I always use microwave, excuse me, to melt my cookie, my margarine. So yes, I'm going to be measuring 200 grams of margarine that I'm going to microwave. So I'm just going to put it in the microwave for about 30 seconds just to, you know, heat up and become liquid in liquid form. So 200 grams, it's so this is more. 200 grams. Yeah, so that's 200 grams of margarine. So I'm going to melt this, then we'll start. Okay, so yes, so this just came out from the oven, and as you can see it's already in liquid form. So I heated it up for 1 minute 30 seconds in the microwave. So yes, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start the mixture. So we'll add this into the mixing bowl. The next thing we'll do is measure the sugar. Now I told you we'll be using half cup of white sugar and half cup of brown sugar. So that's half cup of white sugar and half cup of brown sugar. Because the sugar is thick, so I need to do this so that I can get the accurate measurement. Okay, yes. So now what we'll do is for this for making the cookie, you don't need a mixer. All you need is your whisk. So we'll whisk this together, make sure that it's combined properly, that the sugar and the melted butter, they're both combined properly. So for making cookies, if you want your cookies to be really nice, to have very good taste, I advise you use butter instead of margarine. If you can afford it, that if your clients can pay you for it, use butter instead of margarine. Okay, use butter because when you use butter, the taste is different, the texture is different, everything about it is different. So we just mix this together for about 3 minutes or thereabouts, just till it's combined properly. That's the butter and the sugar is combined properly. The butter is not staying in one place. Okay. You can see they're coming together. It's not separated again. You can see that the butter, even the sugar is not looking granulated, like smooth. You can see what's happening. Okay, so can you see it? It looks like caramel. So this is the consistency we want. We crack the egg open and add to it. Okay, 1 egg. And we give it a whisk as well. Just do this for some seconds. Just want it to combine together. So there's nothing too serious in making cookies. The only part is when you want to bake it, knowing the right texture. Okay, so that's okay. That's good to go. The next thing is the flour. So for cookies, you don't have to sieve the flour. So we'll add 2.5 cups of flour into it. You don't have to sieve it, just add it straight. So yeah, 2.5 cups of flour. Baking soda. We make use of baking soda. 1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon leveled of baking soda. I love to use sea salt for my cookies. It gives it a particular taste. Okay, and this is aqua sea salt. Okay, so I'll just add just a little. Okay, into it. Just a little, about 1/4 teaspoons of sea salt. So we mix everything together. Just combine it. Excuse me. So you just combine it properly. So the best way, if you want your cookie to be crunchy, really crunchy, you need to freeze it. Like, you need to chill it. So when I'm done, because you see it's going to be a bit soft, when you bake like this, your cookie is going to look chewy. Okay, so that's the difference. If you want it chewy, you can go ahead and bake like this, or just chill it for like 10 minutes, then you bake, because it feels warm right now. So you can chill for 10 minutes and bake if you want it to be chewy. When I say chewy, you know that cakey texture. But if you want it crunchy, you need to chill it well, like let it be really cold before you bake, so that way when it's baking, it doesn't spread out without having a particular shape. Do you understand? Yes. So just combine it and our cookie is ready. Can you see it? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to portion this and mix all the toppings separately inside different bowls, then put them inside, wrap them and toss it in the freezer. Then it will chill for about 30 minutes before we move to baking. Okay, so yes, so what I'm going to do now is take portion by portion and just mix it together. Okay, so this is the first one. We're going to share it into 5 portions. So this is the first one, which is the coconut. So I can actually use my hand to make it faster. Okay, so just combine them together. That's why it's called one cookie dough. Just mix it together. I wrap it in a cling film and I put it in the freezer to chill. Okay, so this is the first one. I'll put it inside my cling film. So that's the first one. The next one, so that's it, just like that. So let's do the funfetti. I think this is too much. So you can use any sprinkle of your choice. You can use the long sprinkles, the longer ones, depending on what you want. So this one, even adults like sprinkle cookies, even children, you know, depends on what your client wants. So I like this recipe because it's straightforward. Straight to the point. So and that's it. Just wrap it in. So this is the next one. The chocolate chips cookies. Okay, I think this is very much. So when it's time for you to put your cookies in the baking pan, what I do is that I measure my dough. I measure it. You can do, depending on the size, so that you can have a uniform size and you don't run at a loss. So you can either measure it to everything to be 60 grams or 50 grams or 100 grams. 100, obviously 100 grams will be too big, but mostly I do between 60 to 65 grams each for each cookie. Each cookie weighs 60 to 65 grams depending on what you want. So I always weigh my cookie when portioning it on top the baking rack. I always just do that. I always weigh so that everything, I won't run at a loss. I know how many cookies each gram would, that's a 200 gram of butter. I know how many cookies it will yield me and how much I will make from it. Okay, so that way you don't run at a loss. So this is for just a little. This is the oatmeal. So the oatmeal, because the oatmeal on its own is like a flour, so it changes the consistency of the cookie. It makes it thicker instead of light as this one. It makes it a bit thicker. So when you're portioning your oatmeal cookie, make sure that you make that, if you want it crunchy, you need to make sure that you bake it flat. Like when you take a portion, you make sure that it's flat. You still use a fork to press it down, so that way when it bakes, it's crunchy. Because on its own, if you don't make it flat before baking, it would look thick. It would have this chewy taste. So the last thing I'm going to be showing you is how I put Oreo cookie into a cookie dough, like a mochi. So I'm going to show you that right now. And that's it. So the last one. So for a mochi, when you're doing a mochi, you need your cookie to weigh about 80 grams. You need your cookie to weigh a lot, so that it can have enough space to accommodate the other cookie coming in. So when you take your cookie, because I already know what it weighs, like what an 80 grams should look like. So when you take your cookie, put it at the center and you lock it in. That's it. So you can have it. You can mix this. That's the cookie with chocolate chips first before putting the Oreo inside it, and that's it. So you still have to make it a bit flat, so that just a bit, or if you want it to have a little bit of crunchy texture, just make it a bit flat, and that's it. So when it bakes, you see it inside. So that's it, guys. So I'm going to chill this for about 30 minutes to 1 hour, then we'll come back and we'll bake it. Okay, Or another thing I do if I'm in a rush, that if I'm in a haste, I just want to get it done. Another thing I do is that I portion it on the baking pan, then put the baking pan with the cookie on it inside the oven, inside the freezer, because that way it chills faster. So probably I'll just show you that process. Okay. So yes, so I'm going to show you how to just put it on the baking sheet and put the baking sheet in the freezer, chill it before baking. So this is a baking pan, and I use this brown baking sheet because it's cost effective. It's cheaper than the white one, so you can use the white baking sheet. So I've actually used this one before, so I reuse it if when it's still clean. I'd use it to bake, so I just clean it and keep it. When I want to bake again, I bring it out and I use it again. Yeah, so I've cleaned it before. So like I said, I always like to measure my cookies before putting it on the baking paper, so like I have a uniform size. So this is the one that has the Oreo cookie in it. So I'm just going to place it on the baking pan. Okay, and that's it. So we're going to measure it out. Like I said, I always like to use either 60 gram or 65 gram, between 55 to 65 grams. So I'm going to measure this one. So this 65, I'm going to reduce it because I'm not selling it. So I'm just going to make it 60. Yeah, so this 60 grams of the white chocolate. So roll it and spread it out. So I like to do this before baking it, because when it's cold and you try to spread it out, you might not get, it might be too, the cookie might not respond the way you want. So also always leave a gap, a space between each cookie, so because sometimes they spread out, so when they spread out they shouldn't go join each other. Okay, so yes, so I'm going to do the next one. I'm going to use the oatmeal. I'm going to measure 60 grams as well. Okay, so same thing. Like I said, you need to spread it out well. So you need to spread it out well. That's if you want it crunchy. I love my cookies crunchy. Most people love their cookies crunchy. But if you want it chewy, I'll show you what it should look like. So you can see, okay, flat. Yes, and that's it. Press the middle down so that it doesn't bulge up. Okay, you can use a fork to press it down as well. Okay, so let me show you what let me make the one that will look chewy. Yes, exactly. So if you want it chewy, that it should have the cakey texture. You don't spread it out too much, just a little. I think it's even too much. Just mold it well. Okay, as you can see, still swollen. It's not as flat as the other. So it would be a bit crunchy and also chewy. Okay, yes. So the last one, which is the one that has the coconut in it. So yes, here we go. So you can always refrigerate your cookies. That as I have remaining doughs that I haven't used, you can refrigerate it chill it, not even refrigerate, freeze it for 3 months. You can stay in the freezer for 3 months. Most time what I do is that I bake my cookie dough and put it in the freezer. Like wrap it this way, put it in the freezer. Then when somebody orders for cookies, I might not, that same day I can still deliver. I'll just bring it out from the freezer, thaw it a bit, bring it down to room temperature, then bake it, roll it out and bake it for the person. So that's what I always do. I always have cookie dough in the freezer, always. Like There's no way you open my freezer and you will see a cookie dough. I make them down. When I run out of cookie dough, I make another one. Even if I don't have other, I make another one. I put it in the freezer to chill, to freeze. Then when people or someone orders, I just bring it out, thaw it, and I bake straight up. Okay, so that's it. So we have 6 cookie here. So I'm going to chill this for 30 minutes because now it's flat. It's going to chill faster than when it's together. Okay, so 30 minutes, bring it out. I'll show you what it looks. Put it in the oven. Now I'm going to turn on my oven so that it's, heating up before the cookie is ready. So put it there. Bake for 12-15 minutes. When I see the side brown a bit, I bring it out. Okay, so when you want it crunchy as well, you need to leave it in the oven for a period of time. For like, instead of 12 minutes, I leave for 15 minutes, because when it gets really dry, you get that crunchy texture. If you don't want it to be too crunchy, if you want it to be chewy, you can leave it in your oven for about 10-12 minutes, so the down doesn't get too brown. That way you have, it's done, it's ready, but you don't have a crunchy texture. So it depends on what you want, but I always like it crunchy, so I leave it in the oven for a bit longer. Then I have that texture. All right, so I'll show you when it's ready, when it's chilled enough before I put it in the oven, and I'll show you the end result. Okay, thank you.